welcome to another week of MakerLab STEM Edition. This week we're going to take a look at why things float and sink. This time of year, people flock to bodies of water to cool off. Have you ever been kayaking or canoeing? Maybe you've been on the Wolf Island Ferry. It carries both people and cars. All these items are bigger than us, but they don't sink. Why is that? Let's find it. We know that density plays a role in keeping things afloat or sinking. To prove that point, let's do this simple experiment. You only need a few items: some tin foil, a hammer, and a bowl of water. For the first part of this experiment, you use 2 pieces of tin foil that are the exact same size. The 2 pieces of tin foil have been shaped differently. One has been crushed down to a little square using the hammer, while the other one has been folded into the shape of a boat. Which one do you think is more dense? We'll start by putting in the folded piece of hammered tin foil. Will it float or sink? Make your guess now. Okay, here it goes. That sunk. Next, let's try the boat. Will the boat float or sink? Make your guess now. All right, in it goes. The boat floats. So yes, the density of the tinfoil makes a difference. To extend this activity, take a look around your home. See what materials you could use to construct a boat that will float. For the next experiment, let's try floating and sinking some fruit. Gather the following materials: fruit in various shapes and sizes, a container of water, and a chart to keep track of which fruits float or sink. When conducting scientific research, it's a great idea to record your findings. In my case, I decided to make a chart that has a list. It has a heading, it has some subheadings, rows and columns, a list of the different fruits I'm going to test out, and I even have a section where I can tally how many fruits float versus sink. Everything is set up and ready to go, but before I begin, I would like for you to think of your own hypothesis as to what you think will happen during this experiment. So what do you think? Will all the fruit float? Will all the fruit sink? Will some of them float? Will some of them sink? Let's find it. I'm going to start by putting the smallest fruit inside this bowl of water, eventually making it up to my larger fruit, which is the cantaloupe. As I do with each individual fruit, I'm going to mark on my chart whether it's floating or sinking. Fruit number 1 on my list are blackberries. Do you think they will float or sink? Let's try it. The blackberries sunk. Let's take them out. Move to our next fruit. Our next fruit on the list are the strawberries. Will they float or sink? They float. So we'll mark that down on our floating category. let's scoop them out. Let's try our next fruit. Cherries. Will they float? Will they sink? Let's try. The cherries sunk to the bottom. I'm onto my bigger bowl now. So let's see what's next. The kiwi. Let's pull out our kiwi fruit. Here it is. Will it float or will it sink? Let's put it in. Kiwi sunk. Mark that one off in the sinking category. Next on our list is the lime. Will the lime float or sink? Well, it floats, went to the bottom, but then it came right back up to the top. So we know that limes float. Next is the apple. Will the apple float or sink? Make your guess now. All right, let's see what it will do. Apples float. You probably already knew that. Next up is the orange. Will it float or will it sink? Here we go. It did the exact same thing as the lime. It went down to the bottom and it bobbed right back up. So the orange is going to go in the float category. Next up is the banana. Will it float or will it sink? My banana floats. And we'll put that on our float category. Next up is our lemon. Make a guess. What do you think it's going to do? Did the exact same thing as the lime and the orange, the other two citrus fruits, and went down to the bottom, but then it came right back up. Let's mark that on our floating category. Our final fruit, the cantaloupe. It's really big, it's really heavy, much heavier than the other fruits. Do you think it's going to float or sink? Make your guess now. Let's put it in. It's very heavy. Ugh. It floats! We now know the answers to our hypothesis. 6 of the fruit were floaters and 4 of the fruit were sinkers. So not all fruit float and not all fruit sink. This is why. You can replicate this experiment at home with permission and assistance from your adults. You can try vegetables or maybe some old toys. Don't forget to make a chart to record your results. As for me, I think it's time to go and make some fruit salad.